Good evening, students. In the last video we were doing exercise 4b. We had completed till question number 16. Okay, now I want to discuss something with you here, that I'll do two more sums, question number 17 and question number 18, after which I'll directly jump to question number 4, where I have two more questions, 1 and 2. I'll skip these questions, which 19, 20, 21, 22 from main question 1, question number 2 and question number 3. These three topics I'll skip for now. Why so? Because see, this question number 2 is not at all important. It never comes in exam. Question number 3 and these 4 questions are very tricky and difficult. Although they also never came in your school, especially never came in exam, not even in boards last year. But still, I want to do these sums with you in classes, so that if you have any doubt, if you have any queries, it will be clear there itself. Here in the video, even if I explain you these sums, later on you won't be able to recollect and you will have doubt during the test. So it is better we skip this for now, okay, and we'll do it once the classes starts. You just write beside this question in your textbook, to be done later. Okay, we'll do it. No need to worry. See, I don't want this to happen that only a few students are able to understand these difficult sums and others who won't be able to understand lose their confidence. This should not happen. Okay, these sums are important. These sums are very important. Okay, so this everyone should understand these sums. But about these sums, they can be dealt with later. Okay, so just write to be done later. I'll continue with question number 17. So question number 17 is 36x square minus 49y square plus 6x minus 7y. Okay, here 36x square can be written as 6x the whole square. Correct? 36x square can be written as 6x the whole square, minus, because 36 is 6 square and x square can be written as x. 49y square can be written as 7y the whole square. Okay, plus this I'll just write in brackets 6x minus 7y. Now here I have first bracket square minus second bracket square. That means this is a square minus b square. Correct? If it is a square minus b square, means I'll write it as 6x plus 7y, 6x minus 7y, plus here I have 6x minus 7y. Correct? A square minus b square, a plus b, a minus b. This is the basic formula of this exercise. I hope you remember the formula. A plus b, a minus b. Okay, now from this term and this term, I can take 6x minus 7y, 6x minus 7y common. Correct? I can take this common. So 6x minus 7y will come common. From this term, this 6x minus 7y is gone. So what remains? 6x plus 7y. So I'll write here 6x plus 7y. From this term, this is taken common, so this remains. Then a plus sign will come. From this term, the entire 6x minus 7y is taken common, so nothing remains here. Nothing remains means we write 1. Okay, this is the answer. Copy it. Question number 18. In question number 18, can I take anything common here from these two terms? I cannot take anything common. If I cannot take anything common, the only option left with me is to open the brackets. So I'll open the brackets. A into a square, a into minus 1 is minus a, minus b into b, minus b square, minus b into minus 1 is plus b. Okay. Now you see, among these four terms, a square minus b square, a square minus b square, I'll write it together. A square minus b square. And what is remaining? Minus a plus b. I'll write it separately. Okay. A square minus b square is a formula. We have the formula a plus b, a minus b. So in the place of a square minus b square, I can write a plus b, a minus b. Correct? And here, see, there is a minus sign here. If I see, I want a bracket here. If I take the minus sign common, the second sign changes. If I take the minus sign common, this will become a minus b, bracket close. Always in the first exercise itself, I had told you that whenever you take minus sign common and you make a bracket, you have to change the second sign. Okay. Now from this term and this term, we can take a minus b common. So a minus b will come common. What will remain? This. In the first term, a minus b is gone, so a plus b will remain. The minus sign, and from this term, this a minus b is common. So what will remain? 1. Entire a minus b is taken common. Nothing remains, means you have to write 1. Copy the sum. As I told you that from question number 19 to 22, we'll skip that. We'll directly start question number 4. In question number 4, I have, the question is x square plus 1 upon x square plus 2 plus 3x plus 3 upon x. This is the question. If you remember the formula of expansion, if you observe this carefully, this is a formula of expansion. Which formula is this? X plus 1 upon x, the whole square. If you open this bracket, you get x square plus 1 upon x square plus 2. This is the formula. When you open this bracket in expansions, we get this formula. So this is already given to you in the question. You can see here x square plus 1 upon x square plus 2. This is already given. So I can replace this with x plus 1 upon x, the whole square. Okay, and then from this term and this term, I can take 3 common from the numerator. Okay, so 3 will come common here. What will remain here? X plus, here if 3 is taken common, 1 upon x will remain. Now from this term and this term, I can take x plus 1 upon x, x plus 1 upon x common. Correct? So I'll take x plus 1 upon x common. I'll make a bracket. From this term, see, this term is x plus 1 upon x, the whole square. Okay, this is x plus 1 upon x, the whole square. Whole square means there are 2 x plus 1 upon x into x plus 1 upon x. Square means there are 2 terms. So 1 I have taken common. So 1 x plus 1 upon x will remain. Correct? For example, see, what is 5 square? 5 square is 5 into y. So if I take 1 5 common from here, 1 5 will remain. So in the same manner, if I take 1x plus 1 upon x common, 1 will remain here. Plus, from this term, I take x plus 1 upon x common. So what is remaining? Only 3 will remain here. Okay, when nothing remains, no number, no variable, then we take 1. Okay, but here 3 is remaining, so I'll write 3. This is my answer. We cannot solve it further, so this is the answer. This was the first sum of question number 4. Copy it quickly. Second question. It is 9x square plus 1 upon 9x square minus 2 plus 15x minus 5 upon 3x. Okay. Even here, this is a formula. How do you know that it is a formula? See, this is the square of which number? 9x square is a square of 3x. 1 upon 9x square is a square of 1 upon 3x. Correct? And minus 2. This is the 2ab term. Minus 2. This is this term. See here. For plus, x plus 1 upon x, this is the formula. For minus, x minus 1 upon x, the formula is x square plus 1 upon x square minus 2. So this is this formula, where in the place of x, we have 3x. And whenever you have minus 2, means understand that the sign which will come here is minus. So I'll write a minus sign here. So these three terms together make this formula 3x minus 1 upon 3x the whole square. Okay, if you are confused, you can even open the bracket and see in the rough column here. See, if you open this brackets, 3x minus 1 upon 3x the whole square, you will get a square, that is 9x square, plus b square, that is 1 upon 9x square, minus 2ab. 2a is 3x, b is 1 upon 3x. And 3x will get cancelled. What will remain? Minus 2. So this is what you have in the question here. Okay, so this can be replaced with this. Plus, here from the numerator I can take 5 common. 5. So when I take 5 common, I get 15 divided by 5, 3x minus 5 is gone, so 1 remain, 1 upon 3x. Now I can take 3x minus 1 upon 3x common from both the terms. So I'll take 3x minus 1 upon 3x common in the bracket. This is a square. Square means there are two terms, it's two same terms. The one we have taken common, one will come here. Plus 1 upon 3x plus what is remaining here? 5. Okay, this is the answer. Copy it quickly. Now we'll start with the next exercise. Next exercise based on trinomials, quadratic equation, where we learn how to split the middle term. How to split the middle term. See, pay attention. In this exercise, let's take this question. Now we'll start with exercise 4C, okay, where we have to learn what is splitting the middle term. Okay, there are few conditions for this. First, you must write the question in this form. This form means first x square term, then x term, and then the number. Okay, if you write it like this, x square plus 15 plus 8x, this won't work. You'll get the answer wrong. Okay, so first thing is to arrange it in this order. Mostly they will give you the question in this order only. If sometimes they ask you a tricky question, they may reverse this order, or they may change. They may give you 15 first, 8x later. So make sure that it is in this order. Okay. In fact, the most important part is this x term should be in the middle. That is the most important information here, that x term should be in the middle. Okay, the question can also be like this: 15 plus 8x plus x square. They may reverse it, but still 8x is in the middle, then it will work. Okay, we'll be able to solve it. So x term, 8x, 7x, 1x, 5x, minus 5x, this x term, the term with variable x, should always be in the middle. Okay. Now how to solve this? Here you have to understand, the number which is in the middle should be the sum, and the number which you have here should be the product of two numbers which you will guess, which you will think of. In this type of questions, we have to think two numbers. Okay, think means you have to split. I said in the beginning it is middle term splitting. So you have to split 8 in such a way that when you multiply them, you get 15. And when you add them, you get 8x. Okay, so I will split 8. See, how can you split 8? You can write 7 and plus 1. You can write 6 plus 2. You can write 5 plus 3, 4 plus 4. Correct? This is called as splitting 8. But if you have to split 8, first condition is done. Second, the product. When you multiply these two numbers, you should get 15. So are you getting 15 here? 7 into 1. Are you getting 15? No. 6 into 2 is 12, not 15. 4 into 4 is 16. 5 into 3 is 15. Correct? That means I will use this. Okay, I'll do it here. I will split this 8 into 5 and 3. Why 5 and 3? Because 5 plus 3 will give me 8x. And 5 multiplied by 3, the product of the two numbers, will give me 15. Okay. There are certain further 2-3 rules here. But first, this is the most basic part. So once you are clear with this, everything else will be easy for you. Okay. So I have understood now the two numbers are 5 and 3. So how to split? See, I will write this 8x as 5x plus 3x. 5x plus 3x is 8x. Correct? I am not changing the question. I am just writing it in a different way. Plus 15. Only this will change. This 8x will be written as 5x plus 3x. Now what is the use of it? Why did we do it? So that we can take common and factorize it. Now, and one more thing. There might be a question in your mind. What if you think 3 into 5? What if you write 3 first and you write 5 later? It doesn't matter. You can write any number first or any number second. Okay, it doesn't matter. Here also, if you take 3x here, 5x here, you will get the answer same in the end. Okay. Now once I have this, I'll take common in these first two terms and common in next two terms. So what will come common here? In x square plus 5x, I can take x common here. So I'll take x common. See, I took x common from these both terms. So this x square became x and 5x became 5. Plus, from these two terms, I'll take 3 common. So x plus 15 divided by 3 is 5. Always you will get this bracket and this bracket same. If you are not getting these two brackets same, that means you have made some mistake. Okay, you must get these two brackets same. So once you have these two brackets same, I'll take this bracket common, x plus 5. So x plus 5 will come common. What will remain here? X plus 5 is gone, so x will remain, plus here 3 will remain. This is my final answer. Factorization means in the end you should get two brackets. That is called as factorization. I hope you have understood the sum. If not, just quickly rewind the video and watch the last 4-5 minutes once again. Okay. The middle number should be the sum. You have to split this middle number. Okay. And when you multiply these two numbers, you should get the constant. This is the variable. Okay. Now the things will change when you will have a negative sign. When if you have some number here, we'll understand what is that. But this is the basic part. Okay. So this was the first sum in your exercise. No, this was the solved example in your textbook. You can mark it in your textbook or you just take a look. We'll start with the exercise. We'll understand how the things get changed when there is a minus sign here. Okay. Okay. So first question. A square minus 3a minus 54. I told you this middle term should be the sum, this final term should be the product, correct? Now I have to split minus 3. Okay, this is a negative number, see, minus 3. I have to split minus 3 in such a way that when I multiply the two numbers, I should get 54, correct? So how can I get 54? The most common way to get 54, if you do some trial and error, see, 54 is 6 into 9. 6 9s are 54, correct? So these are the two numbers. See, even if you try like this, 54 is 27 into 2. I can say 27 into 2 is 54. But when I add or subtract 27 and 2, I won't get minus 3. Okay. So you have to just think of two factors. One or two guess, you will get the answer. Okay. So 54 is 6 into 9. 6 9s are 54, most common multiple. So I'll take 6 and 9. So I'm getting 6 into 9, 54. I want minus 54. And when I add or subtract, okay, addition includes, arithmetic includes subtraction and addition, I should get minus 3. So what I'll do, I'll make this 9 negative. Now see, 6 minus 9 will give me minus 3. 6 minus 9 is minus 3, correct? So this is satisfied. And 6 into minus 9, 6 into minus 9 is minus 54, correct? So the second condition of product is also satisfied. That means this is the splitting of minus 3, 6 and minus 9. Okay. See, this is something new for you. It will take time to understand properly, but pay full attention. You'll definitely grasp it. This is very important actually, because in 9th standard, in 10th, 11th, 12th, in all different standards, you'll always have equations in front of you and you'll have to split those equations. Okay, in 10th standard, in fact, there is a dedicated chapter for this. So this should be very clear in your mind. You can rewind the video, watch it again to understand more properly. So here I have split minus 3 now. 6 minus 9. 6 minus 9 is minus 3. 6 into minus 9 is minus 54. So this minus 3a I'll write as 6a minus 9a. Okay, see, this alphabet A will always be with these numbers. Okay, because 6a minus 9a is minus 3a, correct? I have split minus 54. Okay, now I'll take common. A square plus 6a. I can take a common here. Here I can take a common. So I'll take a common. A plus 6. From a square, a will remain. From 6a, 6 will remain. Okay. Here I can take minus 9 common from both these terms. So when I take minus 9 common, here a will remain. First of all, I am taking minus sign common, so this sign, negative sign, will become positive. The sign changes, sign of the second number changes. 54 divided by 9. If I take 9 common from 54, what will remain? 6. And as I said, these two brackets must always be same. So I have a plus 6, a plus 6. Then I take a plus 6 common. What is remaining in the bracket? A minus what remains here? 9. This is my answer. Copy it properly. Draw this also alongside so that you remember which numbers you took. I have a square minus 25a plus 84. Again, I want two numbers. When I multiply them, I should get 84, and when I split this 25, when I add those two numbers, I should get minus 25. Okay, so 25, 84 is two important multiplications of 84. If you are confused to which number to take, you can even prime factorize 84 and see. So if you prime factorize 84, you will get 2, 42, 2, 21, 3, 7, 7 and 1. Now using these four numbers, you can guess what the factor is. See, 2 2s are 4, 7 3s are 21. 21 into 4 will give you 84. Okay, you can make pairs and see 2 into 2 into 3 into 7. Okay, from here you can check like this. See, let's say I take 2 and 3, so 2 3s are 6 and 2 into 7 is 14. I'll check. 6 into 14 is 84, but when I add 6 plus 14, do I get minus 25? No, there is no possible. So these numbers are discarded. I took the first two and the second two. 2 into 2 is 4, 3 into 7 is 21. You see, if I add 4 plus 21, I will get 25. And when I multiply 4 into 21, I will get 84. So my factors are 4 and 21. But there is minus 25 here, minus. So I need a minus sign here. But when I add 4 plus 25, I will get plus 25. So what to do? If I make this minus 4. So 21 into minus 4 will give me minus 84. ये भी नहीं चलेगा. What I'll do? I'll make both these minus. Okay. If you make both minus, what will happen? Minus 4 into minus 21 will give me plus 84. Correct? First condition satisfy हो गई. दोनों माइनस है तो आंसर प्लस आएगा, एंड दोनों माइनस है, एंड इफ वी ऐड देम minus 4 minus 21, what will be? दोनों माइनस होता है तो वी ऐड एंड साइन विल बी नेगेटिव. सो minus 4 minus 21 is minus 25. So these are our factors. Okay, so while taking the factors, you have to take this, consider this sign also. Okay, so first you find the numbers and then sign you can adjust easily. See, here you understood that multiply होने के बाद पॉजिटिव आना चाहिए, तो इसका मतलब दोनों नंबर्स को नेगेटिव करना पड़ेगा या दोनों नंबर्स को पॉजिटिव. अगर दोनों पॉजिटिव है तो ही आंसर पॉजिटिव आएगा, या दोनों नेगेटिव है तो ही आंसर पॉजिटिव आएगा. तो इट इज़ अंडरस्टूड. एंड ऐड करने के बाद वी नीड नेगेटिव, सो दैट मीन्स दोनों को नेगेटिव करना पड़ेगा. ओके, सो लेट्स स्प्लिट दिस. a square, this minus 25 will be written as minus 4a minus 21a. Don't forget to write this variable also with the numbers. And it doesn't matter if you write 21 first and 4 later. Doesn't matter, answer will come same. Plus 84. Now I take a common here. This is a minus 4. And I'll take minus 21 common here. This sign will change because I've taken minus sign common. This plus will become minus. And 21, divide 84 by 21, you will get 4. Then this a minus 4 will come common. See, a minus 4 will come common. What will remain in the bracket? A minus 21. Okay. So we have done 3 sums based on this today. I think you should first watch this video of these 3 sums once again. Understand thoroughly what this concept is. And then in the next video, I'll solve the remaining sums of this exercise. We'll go slow with this because this is a very important topic. Okay, rewind and watch the video 1 or 2 times at least to understand it properly. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you.